Whew. That iced coffee hits the spot today. It is so hot. But welcome back to my channel. I actually have a heating bag here that was in the freezer because that's how hot it is today. So I'm holding on to this really cool bag and it's helping. So, okay, I am excited for this video because it is pretty special. I don't know how many of you guys look forward to reaching those big number ages. And I don't know that I'm looking forward to turning 40 necessarily, but I did want to do something special for it because I mean 40 is big. Whether you want it to approach or not, it's gonna approach, Lord willing, and you are gonna be 40 at some point in your life. So what are you gonna do with it? Are you going to like pretend it doesn't exist and hide away and not embrace life because you are a number you don't like? Or are you going to make it fun? So I am only 38. I just turned 38. So I am not 40 yet, but I know it's coming. And instead of waiting till I'm 39 and I do 40 books to read before I'm 40, so 40 books in a year would be definitely doable for me. But instead of doing that, which to me just feels like your yearly TBR, so I was like, then it's not as special. But this way, it's like I have 2 full years to read these. I'm really excited. I am only selecting, with a little caveat, I'm only selecting books from my physically owned TBR. So it's going to help me definitely focus on my physical books that I have on my shelves right now. And I feel like I'm a bit of a weird reader because when I see books on my shelf that I really want to read, I don't necessarily reach for them because I'm saving that good time for later. Like, what is that? I don't even know what that is. So, and then there's also the other side of that coin where it's like something that you really hope is gonna be amazing, but like what if it lets you down and then you feel disappointment instead of excitement when you look at that book? So whatever, I'm putting all of that aside. I've picked all of the ones from my physical TBR that I have had in my brain, have had on previous TBRs that I really want to read, but I just have not for some silly reason. Okay, without further ado, let's stop the rambling and begin. I know a lot of you guys in the booktube world really love categories, like when booktubers talk about a big stack of books when I put them in categories. I don't really like doing that, so I'm gonna go against the grain, shocker, and I am going to go biggest to smallest, just based on the size of the book. So zero organization here. The first one is The Creative Call by Janice Alzheimer, an artist's response to the way of the spirit. So from what I can gather, this is like a Christian, non-fiction, Christian living book for the person who feels creative or feels like an artist in some way, or feels like they want to serve God, which is me. I want to serve God with my art and I just don't know how to do that. So I feel like this might be a book for me. So I'm excited. I've never heard of this before. I don't know if this is the workbook because it's like quite large. But it doesn't say workbook on it. Like, I know there are questions. Are there? Not really, actually. Oh yeah, there's some exercises here, like some spaces where you can answer questions or whatever. So yeah, it doesn't look like it has a companion book to it. It's just on its own. But anyway, I've talked about this book long enough. I'm excited to read it. Let's carry on and stop rambling. The next one, Finn the Half-Great by Theo Caldwell. Okay, so this one I saw it at the thrift store, was super excited about it. Basically because I think it referenced, did it reference Tolkien or something? Okay, maybe it didn't reference Tolkien, but whatever I read on the back, it made me feel like Middle-earth. And so I am here for it. Even just looking at this picture of this misfit group of characters, monsters, creatures, I'm here for it, and I'm looking forward to this. I believe it's middle grade, but I like middle grade just as well, providing it's written well, so. Oh yeah, and I like Irish stuff, so that one is very Irish themed. Okay, so this next one, I actually can't look at the cover. I actually hate saying the title of it, but one of my friends here on Booktube, I forget who it was, but if I can remember, I'll leave them linked down below, said they loved this book, okay? And I had it in my stash, and I've been debating letting go of it because I can't look at the cover. So as you can imagine, it is called something, Curse of the Spider King. So, I'm not gonna look at this cover. I'm sorry if you don't like spiders, guys, don't look over here. So I'm going based on that recommendation alone, and also because if I don't like it, I can get rid of it. Then it doesn't have to be on my shelf anymore. And then, you know, I'd probably be happy. The next one is, okay, this one is a wild card. There are a few wild cards in here. This one is one of them. The Larian Senators, Book 3 of the Eldarn Sequence by Robert Scott and Jay Gordon. This is a classic portal fantasy, says The Guardian. Okay, so let me tell you the story. There's not much of a story, whatever. Let me tell you the story. I was at the thrift store the one day, and pretty much the whole series was sitting there in pretty good condition. Not mint, but pretty good condition. And it's a portal fantasy, which I like. It is not Christian, so who knows if I'll be DNFing this one right off the bat. But I love me a good classic fantasy story, so I'm hoping this will be a winner. Plus, again, if I don't like it, I can get rid of the whole series and I don't have to have them taking up space on my shelves. So this is going to be a win either way. We're very green heavy at the moment. The next one, super jazzed about, you guys know. Dun, dun, dun. So I love Resistance, you guys know this. I'm so happy to be on the Resistance bandwagon, or I should say the Ilion Chronicles bandwagon. Thank you, Celestia and Reese, for getting me on that wagon. The King's Scroll by J.L. Knight. This is book 2. Technically there's a novella in between, so I'll read the novella first and then I'll get to book 2. But I didn't want to put a novella in my top, or my 40 to read before 40 list, so I'm putting this one in. And yeah, so excited because of how much I love book 1. We got high hopes for book 2. Next up, this is a book that I have had on my lists before and I've just never gotten to it. So, Blackguard's Moon. Oh wait, I gotta double check some of these to make sure they're not first person. I should have done that before I'm filming. This does not look like first person. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good up there. Okay, Blackguard's Moon by George Brian Polivka. So this is, I believe, Christian. It says fiction general. So it doesn't say anything about it being fantasy. It could just be more historical, which I'm down for. A swashbuckling fantasy story for all ages from Emmy Award-winning author George Brian Polivka. Emmy Award-winning? And it's a Christian book? Wow. Impressed. Okay, cool. That solidifies why it's on the list. Oh yeah, also pirates. Come on. You might see a little bit of a theme in some of these books. So the next book, The Crimson Tapestry by Michael R. Jones. This is book 1 of the Twilight of the Gods. Lots of this will be starting new series, which I have numerous books of that series on my shelf. So again, if I like it, I can find a new favorite. If I don't like it, I can get rid of those and make room on my shelf. So, The Crimson Tapestry, yes. Looking forward to this. Again, Christian. Doesn't say fantasy, so possibly just historical, which I love. So, yay! Next up, Rora by James Byron Huggins. Forward by Frank Peretti. This is what, okay, first of all, the cover, beautiful. The condition, perfection. And then forward by Frank Peretti. Yeah, I'm gonna buy that, and I'm gonna read it, and probably love it. So, okay, border between Italy and France, okay. Oh, based on the true story of the historic stand in 1655. Okay, so, historical, yes, love it, love the cover, really jazzed to be here, and finally having this on my more immediate TBR. Next, Port Royal, Book 1 of the Buccaneers, series by Linda Chaikin. Okay, so again, pirates. I don't know if you guys have been noticing so far, we've got like this, what is this, 90s? 80s? 90s. Christian, historical fantasy, pirate kind of vibe happening here, and I'm loving it. So, yeah, what else can I say? Jamaica in the 1700s, a world of smuggling, slaves, and sugar plantations. A British viscount turned pirate meets a woman with a noble cause. I mean, I'm here for it. Especially, like, come on, Jamaica? I love Jamaica. Again, see, this is what I love about going through and finding books that you really want to read, because you get so excited. It's like the next book, it's like, I want to read that. And then the next book, I want to read that one. So, Muddle Earth. I talked about this one recently in my haul. So this one is a Middle Earth Tolkien retelling type of thing. And I am so excited for it. The illustrations are spot on. I'm so jazzed. The illustrations kind of give me the 13 and a Half Lives of Captain Bluebear. And I love it. I love it. Look at this. This is fantastic. So, again, I believe this is middle grade. But I'm here for it. I'm excited. Anyone else read this one? Next up, Midnight's Budding Morrow. So this one's by Carolyn Miller. This one, interestingly enough, is actually book 2 in the Regency Wallflowers series. I have not read book 1. I actually don't really plan to read book 1 unless reading this one convinces me to go ahead and read book 1. But I really want to read this one because my friend Bethany, you guys know Bethany at Bethany Brings Books, she is lovely, and she highly recommends this one. She says it is quite hard-hitting and there are some darker topics, and that's what I really appreciate in my Christian fiction, so I am looking forward to this. I believe just Christian historical. Yeah. So, looking forward to this. Next up is St. Julian by Walter Wangerin Jr., author of the best-selling The Book of God. Okay, you guys. If you've been on my channel for years, you will remember a time when it was like 2 or 3 years. I had this on my yearly TBR. I even started it at one point. I don't remember how far I got. And I was liking it. And I never finished reading it. But we should finish reading this. Because I want to. Oh! I saw something on the back here. It'll come into play at the end of this video, but that's funny. So anyway, this is Christian allegorical. I don't know if it's an allegory of the Bible, the Christian life, Jesus' death and resurrection. I have no idea what the allegory is, but I want to know. I want to read it. It looks great. It's a beautiful cover. I'm excited. Next up, we've got a Ted Dekker in the mix. It's been a hot minute since I've read a Ted Dekker. And when I think back on the Ted Dekker I have liked, I did like Eyes Wide Open, and that was part of the Outlaw Chronicles series. That was book 1. This is book 3. I don't own book 2, so that's why I'm going to be reading book 3, I guess. And then hopefully I like it, and then I can be on the hunt for book 2. So that's all I can tell you about this one. I really don't know. It looks very sci-fi, maybe dystopian, but based on what I liked in the first book, I have high hopes for this one. Once again, Dauntless. This one I think I always thought was in first person, which is why it held me back, but it is not in first person. It is in third person. So we're happy to see that. This one, actually, I first heard about this one, I first hauled this one at the thrift store. Then subsequently, like it was within a week or two, heard about it on Melanie's channel. Melanie has been a little quiet on her channel lately, but I'll still link it down below, and you can check out her books that she talks about. So, yeah. Dauntless by Dina L. Sleeman, book 1 of the Valiant Hearts. I believe it's a bit of a Robin Hood gender bent retelling. Christian author. Yeah. Where legend and history collide, one young woman will fight for the innocent. Okay, so maybe there's a bit of a true story mixed in with the legend of Robin Hood. I don't know. Let's find out. Next up, this one is a random one. So The Shock of Night by Patrick W. Carr. This is book 1 of the Dark Water Saga. Christian fantasy. That's about all I know about it. I'm here for it. Oh, let's check. Let's check. You guys. Oh, okay. This one is in first person. That's a no-go for me. However, I can do first person in audiobook if I'm willing to put up with it. And so, first person, I do have the audiobook for this one already. I've already looked, I've already prepared. I can get this audiobook. So, I'll be reading it that way. And I do have another one in this series as well. So, I guess that will determine if I continue the series or unhaul it. Dulcich. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. I do not have a Scottish accent, but book 1 of the Princess of the Highlands by Cheyenne Van Langveld. Again, probably saying that wrong, but this one is Christian historical or Christian fantasy. I don't quite recall if there's fantasy in here, but I've been wanting to read this for so long, since she first announced it, actually. So, yeah, I need to read this one. I really want to. I love Irish culture, but Scottish culture is very similar in some ways. Not quite, but you guys, I think, know what I mean. A little bit on that Celtic vein. And so I'm looking forward to this. I love Scottish books. I have read quite a few historical Scottish books, and I love them. So looking forward to this. We do have quite a few green up there. The next one, Holier Than Thou by Jackie Hill Perry. This one, and funnily enough, another one in this selection, were gifted to me by a beautiful friend for my 38th birthday. So that's super fitting, and I love you, friend. Thank you so much for this gift. As you can see, I've loved this gift, and I put both of them in my 40 to read before 40. Jackie Hill Perry is a Christian speaker, social media influencer. I think she wouldn't like that title, but she does have a very popular, I guess, social media presence in the Christian community. And so I'm looking forward to this book. Really, really, really love Jackie Hill Perry, so I'm going to read this one, and I can almost guarantee I'll love it. Next up, we have It's Okay About It, Lessons from a Remarkable 5-Year-Old About Living Life Wide Open by Lauren Casper. This one, so years ago, my husband and I went to an infertility conference in the United States. And this author was there as a speaker, and she was selling this book. And I really wanted to get this book based on what she had talked about. And it was sold out by the time I got to the back of the sanctuary. It was all gone, so I was sad. But then it popped up at my local bookstore, and I was like, okay, I want this. So I still have never read it. That's terrible. That was so many years ago, you guys. So, yeah, I want to read this. Next up, so, Theft of Swords by Michael J. Sullivan, Volume 1 of the Ryria Revelation. I've heard good things about Michael Sullivan. He is not, from what I'm aware, a Christian author, but his fantasy is, I think, supposed to be clean? Don't quote me on that. I do not know. But I have heard good things about him and this series, and so I'm really jazzed to get to this one. And I love chunky fantasy, you guys. Oh, I love classic fantasy. I love chunky fantasy. Like, it's just the sweet spot. So I really hope this one hits it out of the park for me and I can continue this series. Next up, Oxygen by John B. Olson and Randall Ingermanson. Oh my, Ingermanson. Okay, so this one is, I think this is a series because I feel like I have another book by this author that looks the same, just with a different title. It doesn't say anywhere on here that it is a series, so maybe I'm wrong. But I've had this book on my shelf for years, and then a couple of years ago, I know Celestria and Sam at the Book Bunch, I believe, buddy read this one and they both loved it. I hope I'm getting those facts right. And so that just made me feel like, yeah, I really need to read this one because it's Christian science fiction, I believe. Is it dystopian? Well, let's see. It says 2012 on the back, but when was it written? Oh yeah, it's dystopian. So it was written in 2001, set in 2012, which is now past for us, but future for this author at this time. So that will be super interesting. So I'm curious to see what this author felt like was going to happen 11 years in their future. Okay, cool. Next up, we're going to mention Bethany again because her and I buddy read, sort of. I was terrible. She was great. The first book of this series, The Wakefield Dynasty. I love that book, gave it 5 stars. So I'm so excited to start the second book, and I'm gonna have a great time. I think. So looking forward to reading this. This is Christian historical, and it is so rich with information about that time period, especially regarding William Tyndale and his translation of the Bible and the persecution and King Henry VIII, and so much history packed into these books. Gilbert Morris has to be one of my favorite authors, I think. So looking forward to this. Next up, When the Day of Evil Comes, a novel of suspense by Melanie Wells. I really don't know anything about this. I will have seen this at the thrift store, looked and saw that it was a Christian publisher, and Bob's your uncle. I picked it up and we bought it. So, oh no, the back blurb is in first person. It's in first person. I should have checked. But the interesting thing is I know that there is an audiobook for this, so I will get that. Man, first person. So anyway, I will read that, see how it goes. I have a couple other Melanie Wells, so we'll see if I like her writing. I've never read her before, so we'll see. Next up, Mare has also been on my lists before. This is book 1 of the Fires of Glenmara series by Linda Windsor. Linda Windsor is an author that I read more of when I was a teenager, and I remember liking her. I've since recently read another one of her books, and it was good. It was more contemporary romance, so I was like, not really the vibe I'm looking for, but this one is Christian historical. I don't believe there will be fantasy in here, so it will be Christian historical. And just upon glancing, I see a lot of God conversation in this little blurb, so we'd love to see that. This is in the 5th century Ireland. Ayo! So we've got Ireland, which I love, 5th century, which is medieval? Is 5th? Yeah, 5th century is medieval. Yeah. Right? I don't know. we'll go with it. The next up, this one is called The Game by Monica Hughes. This is a secular market middle grade YA, I think, dystopian. And I'm really excited about this one. Basically, it's the year 2154, and it has to do with a game in society. And I love that concept when it comes to like science fiction or dystopian type storytelling. So I want to see what this book has. It is quite short, so I hope it's not in first person. How do I read this? It's in first person, you guys. I'm gonna have to see if I can find an audiobook for this one. I have not checked. That might have been why I have not read this one yet, because I keep noticing it's in first person. Next up, this is The Caveat. When I said I own all of the books in my 40 before 40, this is the one. This is the exception. So this is just a placeholder that I had to remind myself so that I didn't talk about 39 books. This is actually one by Charles Swindoll. But I want to read Charles Spurgeon, you guys. Spurgeon. I can find Swindoll at the thrift stores all day, every day. And I have a handful of Swindoll's books on my shelf. But I really want Spurgeon, and I cannot find him anywhere. Like, I've even looked at secondhand consignment stores where like the prices are a little bit higher, and I can't find Spurgeon there either. Like, where are all the Spurgeon books? Like, either not a lot was published, or people hold on to their Spurgeon and don't get rid of them, or I don't know what else. But yeah, I need to get my hands on some Spurgeon, you guys. Next up, fulfilling yet again the classic 80s, 90s Christian historical medieval fantasy-ish type vibe. Here we are. Afton of Margate Castle. This is book 1 of the Vane Chronicles by Angela Elwell Hunt. I don't really know anything about this, guys. This was like a cover by, yeah, I'm into it. Okay, let's read this one. It's blurbed by Eugenia Price, so I've never read Eugenia Price, but there it is. Okay, this one is also a somewhat recent purchase of mine. This is a Alice in Wonderland retelling, splintered by A.G. Howard. Welcome to the real Wonderland. Okay, so I love reading Alice in Wonderland retellings. I love the original. I really enjoy reading retellings of this story, and then I happened upon this one. Oh boy, it's YA, right? So much YA is written in first person. Let's check it out. No! Oh no, guys. First person present tense? No, not happening. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, let's hope there's an audiobook out there and I can get through the present tense. Oh boy. Let me know in the comments below if you have read this book. I need some extra hype to get me to actually read this one. I should have checked before I put it in my 40 before 40. It's such a pretty cover, right? Let's hope I can read that one. Okay, the next one. This is the second one. My friend who got me Holier Than Thou. She also got me The Wobbit, which is a Hobbit parody. This one is by the Harvard Lampoon, and I believe the Harvard Lampoon does quite a few parody storytelling type stuff. So, super excited about this one. Oh yeah, that's right. This one, yeah, I skimmed this one just for like names, and they're funny. So, I'm jazzed to see this one. And this looks like it would be like Bilbo and Smaug, but obviously the parody version. Next up I have The Naming, which is the first book of the Pelennor series. This is by Alison Krogon. Okay, ooh yeah. In the blurb, it says, an epic fantasy in the Tolkien tradition. I couldn't put it down. So this is middle grade fantasy. I wasn't sure if it was Christian And I can't remember what people have said in my comments last time I talked about this book, but it is clean from what I remember them saying. So I'm looking forward to reading. There's a lot of fantasy in my list here, guys. I'm looking forward to reading this one, and it's middle grade fantasy, YA fantasy, with a Tolkien inspiration in there. I think it's gonna be a good time. Next up, I have The Last Christian by David Gregory. This one is a Christian sci-fi dystopian. Yeah, 2088. Okay, so yeah, looking forward to this. In the future, it's possible to live forever, but at what cost? Oh, okay, let's read this one. The next one, I wanted to get some C.S. Lewis in this list. So I have Surprised by Joy. A remarkably frank and beguiling account of a conversation. So, I love C.S. Lewis's Christian nonfiction. I do love The Chronicles of Narnia, of course, but I really love his nonfiction, and I want to read more of it. So let's go with this one, I guess. Next up, we have a Terry Pratchett. I have not read Terry Pratchett in a couple of years, and I think I've only read Guards and Monstrous Regiment I've read. I think those are the only two. Oh, Going Postal. So I've read 3. And I need to read more. So this one is Mort, who is a character in one of the previous books I've read. So I thought this would be a good one to go with next. Terry Pratchett's Discworld is a trip. Yeah, I don't even know how to explain it. It's fantasy to the weird level, I would say. Next up, Nicholas Nickleby by Charles Dickens. Okay, so this one, I wanted to get a couple classics in here. Nicholas Nickleby is a movie that I watched growing up, and I really enjoyed the movie. So here's to hoping I enjoy the book. I've only read The Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens and some of his short stories, but I've never read any of his full-length classics, so this will be my first time with Charles Dickens. Nearing the end, folks. The next one I have is Mark of the Thief by Jennifer A. Nielsen. I've really enjoyed whatever Jennifer Nielsen I have read so far, and this is a new series. Not a new series. This is another series, one that I haven't started yet, so new to me. I do not know if this will be fantasy or just historical. It looks fantasy, but okay, there we go. A runaway slave, stolen magic, a war to bring an empire to its knees. Sounds like fantasy to me. So middle grade fantasy, here for it. Next up, we got another classic on board, guys. War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy, another fat boy. So, looking forward to this. Oh, this text is tiny. Wow. Ay, ay, ay. So, War and Peace. Nothing new to the book world. Pretty much everyone knows about War and Peace. And I want to read it. There we go. That's all I have to say. Last 5. The next one is The Invisible Man by H.G. Wells. I want to read this book. I have actually 2 copies of this book because I have high hopes for it. I like H.G. Wells well enough, so let's hope this one's a gooder. Next we have The Clan of the Cave Bear by Jean M. I don't know, guys. I don't know. How do you say his name? Her name? Their name? Okay, The Clan of the Cave Bear. I have this whole series because I was at a library sale the one time and the whole series was sitting there and it was for like dirt cheap, and I've heard about this and I've heard good things and a couple people I know love this series, so I was like, let's try this. So I have the whole series. If this ends up to be a dud, I can unhaul the whole series and I'll have more shelf space. So either way, again, we're happy. Do you guys know of this book? Have you read it? It's kind of a classic, isn't it? It's not like, it's more like a modern classic, but like, Have you read it? I know a lot of people have read it and a lot of people love it. Okay, modern classic might be too generous. It's only from the 80s, so I just know that it's been around the block. People know it. Next up, you guys did not think I would go 40 books without a Tolkien book, did you? Because you should know better. We're gonna go with the Unfinished Tales. I scoured the internet and it seems like the masses are not super unanimous about what book should come after the Silmarillion, and that is where I'm at. So we're gonna go with this one. It was either this one, The Children of Huron, or Beren and Luthien. Those were the three main next book suggestions, and I have all three of those books. I just had to pick one, so I'm gonna go with this one, I guess. But let me know if you've read Unfinished Tales and if you like it. Further tales that expand the Silmarillion and the Lord of the Rings. Okay, well that seems like it's a pretty safe next step. Looking forward to it. The next book, which is why I chuckled earlier, because it's the same author as St. Julian. And I was like, oh, I have two books with the same author. Wasn't really intending to do that. Was trying to not do that, in fact. But here we are. The Book of the Dun Cow by Walter Wangerin Jr. As far as I know, he pretty much just writes allegories, right? I don't know. It says, a mighty fantasy adventure, the best book of the year, says the New York Times. I don't know. Who knows? Have you guys read this book? It's always intrigued me. I'm looking forward to reading it. And the last book that I want to read before I turn 40 years old is not this one. This one. This one is also a placeholder because, okay, I guess there's two caveats in this video. This one is book 5 of the Pendragon Cycle by Stephen Lawhead, and I have finished the first 3 books of this series. So I'm technically at book 4, but I don't own book 4, so I had to have a placeholder. Perhaps I will get to this one as well before I'm 40, but it's definitely going to be, I think the book I need is Pendragon, is number 4, I think. So again, placeholder, but yeah. For both of these placeholders, it's like, it's a book I plan to buy regardless, so it's not adding to my book purchasing goals because it's gonna happen anyway. Does that make sense? Right? Am I just justifying it? Whatever. I'm gonna read the Pendragon. No, it's just Pendragon. Book 4 in the Pendragon cycle. Yeah. I like this series. It is Christian historical fantasy. Yep. Obviously surrounding like King Arthur and the Arthurian legend and Merlin the Wizard and that kind of thing. So. And there we have it, folks. 40 books that I want to read before I turn 40 years old, which is in 2 years. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the books. I don't know that I'm excited about 40 necessarily, but like I said in the intro, what are you gonna do about it? It's gonna come. Lord willing, it's gonna come. So you just gotta embrace it and find things to celebrate. So we're gonna celebrate reading these 40 books, okay? Let me know what you think about them. Have you read them? Do you think I like them? You know, all that stuff. Let's talk in the comments below about my selection. And also let's talk about age a little bit. I'm curious if you guys have any hang-ups on age. Like, were there any ages that bothered you in the past? I hear from older people that it seems like everyone has at least one age that was difficult for them to accept or to wrap their mind around or whatever. I don't think I've had that one yet. I mean, I didn't, you know, when I was in my 20s, I didn't want to be 30, but I don't think I've had like a real, like, little bit of a crisis or anything, or a difficulty with it. But anyway, I'm curious if you have already had your difficult age milestone and what that milestone was. I hear 40 is a common one. I don't know. Maybe it's that official getting out of the younger phase of life and heading toward the older phase of life. I don't know. You'd think that would be more 50, but I guess whatever. Now I'm just rambling. So let's talk in the comments below. I want to hear all of your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you in whatever comes next. Bye!